Welcome to another in our continuing series of webcasts on time control, enterprise timesheets. Today we'll be talking about how to link time control and the time control timesheet system into your ERP Finance system or other legacy tools. Time control is published by HMS Software. We've been in the enterprise timesheet and enterprise project management business since 1984. In fact, our very first project included creating a timesheet that would be used for both finance and for project management purposes, delivering reports such as billing reports, variance reports for the project, as well as payroll and HR reports. Time control has been on the market as a commercial product since 1994, and in 2010 we released the sixth family of time control, Time Control 6, which is what we're talking about today. HMS has been involved in a wide variety of projects, whether that is utilities, power-based, working in the defense, aerospace business, offshore engineering, as well as in IT, bioresearch, finance, insurance, and other types of industries. Time control is in use all over the world and comes from our headquarters in Montreal, Canada. Okay, if we start talking about timesheets, one of the first things we really need to talk about is what kind of timesheets might be required by an organization. The most common kind of timesheet system we see when we look at an ERP timesheet would be time and attendance. These are typically tied to the payroll or HR system and record whether someone was present or not, and if not, whether we should pay them for the time that they were absent. So this can track vacation time and sick leave, as well as wage employees and salary employees. If we shift to more of a professional business, such as accounting or legal, then we may find time and billing systems being very popular. Time and billing systems need to track what client is being billed, what the rate is, be able to have multiple rates and abilities to group all of the time spent to the different clients and different invoices required. In a project management context, we tend to talk about time in reference to things that were planned to be done in the project. Tasks that were planned for a certain amount of time, and then the actual time spent against those tasks are compared to be able to do variance analysis and activity-based costing. This can be very important if you need to do research and development tax credits or Sarbanes-Oxley compliance. And these days, whether it's for government compliance or just good governance, there's a whole variety of reasons why timesheets are mandatory. If you are doing projects for the U.S.'s Homeland Security or the Defense Department, then you likely have to comply with the DCAA, the Defense Contract Audit Agency requirements. You might have to comply with Sarbanes-Oxley or the requirements for research and development tax credits in a wide variety of jurisdictions, or American Recovery and Reinvestment Act reporting, or depending on what country or jurisdiction you're in, you might need to comply with a whole range of different kinds of stringent timesheet reporting. But more and more, whether it's in the private sector or public sector, just good governance requires that we know what people did with their time, not just how much time they spent. And time control was designed with that in mind. Time control is designed to be a multi-purpose timesheet, fulfilling the needs of finance and HR in one side, other government compliant type requirements on another for reporting, but also being able to take care of project management or client or billing type systems, all from the same source of data. When we talk about an ERP system, often ERP systems are available in ERP systems include a timesheet that's available inside the ERP system, and project management systems include a timesheet that is available. So why link the two? Well, what we most often find is that we have irreconcilable systems where we have data collected from a project perspective and data collected on the timesheet from a financial or organizational perspective, and this data does not match. If we can eliminate multiple timesheet systems, then we can create incredible savings for the organization, not just in not having to purchase or support more than one timesheet, but also in the amount of time people spend either entering data twice or trying to reconcile System 1 with System 2. If we have project management type timesheets that are financial quality data, then we can start doing things like variance reporting, reporting against budget either by department or by project. And we can integrate project management data for the first time into the financial management process. If we have one source of data, then we've got one family and one voice of data, no matter which perspective we're looking at it from. ERP timesheets, one of the questions that's often asked of us is, why can't we just use the ERP timesheet and link it into our project management requirements? And to do that, we have to talk really about the kinds of levels, or the level of resolution in timesheets between an ERP system and a system in a project management system. If we think about that at different levels, well, the most common would be to say, let's configure our ERP system to have one task on their in their environment equal to one task in the project scheduling or project management tool. If we do that, then we can use the ERP timesheet because we have a one-to-one relationship. But that's the least common kind of deployment. Much more common is the second here, which is one task in the ERP is at a much more summary level and is equivalent to many, many tasks in the project scheduling side. We might find for a single project things done down to the phase level in the ERP with perhaps a dozen different tasks, and yet those tasks represented by thousands of tasks in a scheduling tool. If we do that, then we have ERP timesheet data that can be collected only at the summary. And how do we collect the actuals for each task? And we can also have one task in the ERP when that's equal to many tasks in project management. Then really what that drives us to is using a third-party timesheet. Here's what that looks like when we start talking about it in more graphical terms. We have an ERP system. If we've deployed the ERP project costing module, then we can often have tasks underneath a project. That's fine, but very rare to find that we're going to put the same number of tasks into the finance system managed by the finance department as we'll have in the project scheduling system. Much more common is the ERP can collect data at a much more summary level, and at a much more detailed level, we now have project management data, and we can move the summary data to the ERP system. But how do we get the actuals back to project management? We can't take a summary piece of data and devolve it automatically to know how much was spent on each individual task unless we define it that way. TimeControl was really designed to be the hybrid so that we can collect data at the project level. We can move that data to the project management system when it's required, and we can move the summary data from the project system to the ERP for things like scheduling dates for cash flow and so on. But TimeControl can also move its auditable payroll quality data directly to the ERP, making that three-cornered system that allows us to have both finance and project management data at the same time. Let's talk about a couple of different possible examples. TimeControl has been linked by our clients many times to different kinds of systems. One of the more popular would be the Oracle Enterprise Business Suite, where TimeControl can be sent down into the payroll system, into Oracle Payroll, using the Pay Mix module that's available in EBS. We can also move things through the PRC transaction import process module, and then from there into the subledger accounts, where it can be distributed wherever it's required by Oracle Financials. And if you're using Oracle Project, then this would be probably the most common way that people would move TimeControl information into Oracle Financials, but it is not the only way. We can do this with almost no work on the TimeControl side by creating the SQL tables using SQL Loader, moving those directly into the PA transaction interface table. If you're not using Oracle Financials, if perhaps you're using SAP, then you might decide to move your data into the CATS timesheet system, the CATS, the Cross Application Timesheet in SAP. You can do that using processes that will move data directly into the CATS database, the CATS DB. You might also desire to move directly into the human resources module to move things like vacation time and sick leave and personal time taken. Or you might go into the project system module, into the PS module directly using the PS EPS link that brings data such as timesheet data directly into the PS module. Or you might decide to go directly into the control module if all we wanted to do was bring in the exact costing to SAP for things like Sarbanes-Oxley compliance for an auditable trail. TimeControl would carry things like the work center number so that we could bring data directly back to the appropriate place in SAP. If we think about something a little bit different, the Dynamics Great Plains module, Dynamics GP, there's a timesheet import function directly in Dynamics GP that can take data such as time controls and bring it straight into GP and put it into the appropriate accounts. We bring in the project, the task, the department, and any work codes that are required in order to make sure that data goes into the appropriate project or into the appropriate chart of accounts area. If we're not talking about ERP systems, if we're talking more about services such as ADP Payroll, again, there is a client import utility, whether you're using the hosted system, Pay at Work, or the Payforce or Workforce internally installed modules. All of these modules include import tools to be able to bring external timesheet data, such as time controls, directly into the ADP process. All of these tools have been linked to by clients in the past. Often HMS does not even need to get involved to make these links for the clients. It's done by the clients themselves. If you can't link these things together, if you say we just aren't able to, here's what we find most commonly. It's not an absence of automation, it's too much automation. We find clients deploy more than one project, with more than one timesheet system for more than one requirement. So perhaps we have the Project Web Access module being used for Microsoft Project Server, and then Progress Reporter being used for Primavera. We have the ERP system is using perhaps CATS, or perhaps the Oracle Time and Labor, or using whatever timesheet is available directly from the ERP Finance system. We have other internal systems or access card systems. We end up with the end user having to fill in more than one timesheet for a given week. And in the worst case scenario, 3 or 4 for a given week. Obviously, this is ineffective not just in the amount of time being spent in populating something that should be quite simple, but in reconciling all these systems at the end of the day to say, well, why doesn't the data balance from these different systems? We can do this with time control because we've created something called the matrix approval process. The matrix approval process allows us to approve actuals, first of all, for the organization, so that we can approve the entire timesheet. Here, looking for all the work done by a single person for their week. So we're looking at their entire week's timesheet. And a supervisor or someone responsible for that person might approve that timesheet. But then also being able to turn the data on its side so that the client manager, account manager, or project manager can look at the data across employees, but specific to that project or account, to be able to approve data that way. Both of these axes of the matrix are part of the matrix approval process that is inside of time control, something unique that was created for time control many years ago. When that all comes together, then the flow of data can start from a project scheduling tool, it can start from an ERP list of accounts, it can become a simple timesheet entry inside time control, then we can apply automated validation and business rules, and once we get approval, we can send that data out to the ERP, finance, or payroll systems on one side, and back out through project manager validation and back to the scheduling tool on the other. You can find out more about the matrix approval process elsewhere on the TimeControl.com website. Time control makes organizations more efficient. That's what HMS is about. That's why time control was created. We can identify not just what is being spent in labor, but where that time is being spent. It's not enough to know just how much time people spent at the organization, but what they spent that time on allows management to make business decisions that are appropriate to getting the most out of our employees and to being the most effective in what is today a very competitive environment. If you have reliable information that comes from a single source, then that information is easier to audit, simpler to manage, and just does not require reconciliation of multiple systems because it's coming from one place. Some key features to talk about, you can find out more about elsewhere on the TimeControl.com site. Time Control works in a web browser interface. It supports multiple browsers. It is multilingual for organizations that work in different languages, even inside the same organization. It supports multiple databases, including SQL Server, Oracle, and MySQL. It includes expense tracking right inside the system. It includes vacation requests right inside the system. Automated approvals. There's a link to multiple ERP finance systems possible, multiple project management tools possible, and it's used often for things like R&D tax credit tracking, for Defense Contract Audit Agency compliance, for the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act reporting compliance, and a wide variety of other government compliance needs. HMS has been a partner of other technical companies such as Oracle, SAP, Primavera, Deltek, Microsoft for many years. We're an Oracle Gold partner or a Microsoft Gold certified partner. We're an ISV partner with Deltek, and our alliances stretch to different kinds of technical organizations and different kinds of deployment and dealer organizations around the world. The whole purpose of TimeControl is to provide one easy-to-use source, being able to be used for multiple purposes, and this has been done by clients all over the world. You may recognize some of our clients, you may have had business with some of our clients, but we are present in a wide variety of industries, from engineering to manufacturing to utilities, government, technology, health, and R&D. And TimeControl has been able to help organizations in all of these kinds of industries. Our dealer network stretches around the globe. We are headquartered in Canada, but we have alliance partners and full-service dealers in many countries around the world. If you're a multinational or you're located somewhere other than North America, then we can certainly take care of you. And you can get a full list of dealers and the closest dealer to you on the timecontrol.com website. If you'd like to find out more about time controls, please come to the timecontrol.com site and find out a bit more about the timesheet area. If you'd like to find out more about how time control links to ERP systems, there's a solutions page area for that where you can find this presentation and other materials. If you'd like to know a little bit more about HMS, you'll see that on the hmssoftware.ca corporate website. And if you'd like to talk to us about how time control can link with your ERP and project systems, then please contact us at info@hmssoftware.ca. Thanks for your time today.